start discussing functional programming in detail. So we will get more clarity actually about these functions in Python, how we use functions in Python. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Narendra. Good morning, Aditi. So let's get started with the concept called functional programming. Okay. So actually, what we're going to do is, okay, functional programming in Python. Okay, one of the very interesting and very important topic. And actually, you will start understanding how functions works in Python in detail. And actually, what is the sub subtopic for that? Uh, Having deep dive into functions. Okay, so let's have a deep dive into functions and discuss about functions in detail actually. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, first point here, basically functional programming actually means using function as values. Okay, using function as values. So what is mean by using function as values? Definition I will tell you. The definition here it says very simple. It says that using functions as values. What is mean by this? We'll talk about in detail point by point now. So I would like to discuss the first point here. So first point in functional programming says that functions are first class objects. First class object in Python. First class objects in Python. Object here means any value, like functions treated as regular object or regular value is generally called as a thing. So let us discuss about this. What is meant by functions are first class objects in Python. Okay, it means that the way you have dealt with other objects, like integer object, float object, boolean object, list object, string object. Okay, they're all object and classes in Python. Even function is belongs to a class. Even function belongs to a class. Okay, let me explain you what happens generally here. You will get little more clarity about it. Okay, for example, I define some function. For example, I define some function now. Okay, so the way I will be defining a function like this, def, I'll just give the function here. I'll give the function. I need everybody's concentration, guys, because a lot of things will be tricky here. And initially, it's hard to understand. Actually, it's a totally a different paradigm. And we're going to have a deep dive into functions, so that way it will be important to understand how it will work actually. So print hello. Okay, let's say print hello now. Okay, so okay, fine. So this is what it means now, the function. Okay, now what happens, let us talk about in detail, like what happens in the memory actually. Okay, what happens in the memory, we will talk about it. So basically what happens in the memory is, we all know that there are two types of memory get created. There are two types of memory gets created. One is called as heap memory. Okay, one is called it as a heap memory. The other one is called it as stack memory. Okay, we know that two things gets created. Okay, so now you know what happens here is, we'll go here and we'll select the pen. Okay, what happens here now, that whenever I say function is equal to print, it means that a function object gets created. Okay, a function object gets created. Let it be addressed as 2001. All the information about that function will be available in that. So it says I am function object. I am function object, meaning there is a class called function in Python. So whatever you create, a function object gets created. and the reference gets created in the stack memory, and it will be referring to that particular object. So this is my stack memory and this is my heap memory. Okay, the stack memory and the heap memory, the function object gets created now. Okay, so it says that I am an arbitrary object. Okay, it says okay, sorry. So it says that I am an arbitrary object. I can same like what we have discussed. Okay, previously. It says I am an arbitrary object. I can point to any object. I can point to any object. This time, I am pointing to function object. I'm pointing to function object now. Okay, so let me check, is this diagram clear for everyone? Any question regarding this diagram, please ask. And I'll be expecting a lot of questions today, okay? Because to understand this concept in a better way, if you can have some questions, okay, then it will be easy for us to understand this particular topic, because these topics no doubt are very interesting, okay, but it has little complexity as well. Okay, Vishwajit says no question. Yeah, this is your total blackboard actually. Okay, I'll just reduce it if you want. So we started a concept. Function points to object. Yes, Satyam. Function points to object. In short, we can tell like that. Function points to object. Okay. Vishwajit says understood. Thank you. Nagaraja says understood. Okay, fine. Okay, Obul says clear. Krishna. Yeah, I will zoom it, Krishna, but you wanted to see the complete blackboard. Okay, so I just shown you the complete blackboard. Yeah, I'll just zoom it a little bit in the sense it will zoom completely then. Okay, so this is my complete board, but I have to scroll left and right to see that thing. So that's why I show you the complete blackboard. Fine. So let me explain you what is meant by function as values, like other objects actually. Like this is what happened when you declare other variable, right? This is what happened when you declare other variables as well. Like when you declared a is equal to 10. Okay, I'll use the same. When you declared a is equal to 10, this is what happened actually, right? This is what happened. What happened here, that it created you an object here, okay, which is an integer object, which have something. So I am integer object, and then a will be a reference created in the stack memory, and it will be pointing to an integer object. And it also says the same thing. I'm an arbitrary object. This time I'm pointing to integer object. Okay, so that way, that's what I told you. Functions are first class object, means it will be same like other objects in Python. Like the way you created integer object, the way you created uh, yeah, I will do that, Narendra. Okay, I'll do that. So let us talk about what we are discussing. Okay, so what we are discussing is, okay, we are talking about functional programming, or actually we are going to have a deep dive into Python functions. Like we're going to discuss functions little more in detail. Okay, we have learned how the function look like, what are the different types of parameters we have, how it will return a value. So basic fundamentals, what you required about functions, we have discussed. Now we stepped into functional programming. Now we're going to see that how the functional programming treats the function. Okay, how the functional programming treats the function. Functional programming, the first point says that functions are pure objects in Python, or first class objects in Python. meaning that functions are same like other objects. So when you define the function, actually a function gets created, or the memory get allocated for the function in the heap, okay, and the reference gets created in the stack. Same like as you do for other variable. A is equal to 10, so an integer object gets created and it will get the value. But the difference here is, you know what will be the output if I say print A? What will be the output if I say print A? What will be the output if I say print A? Yeah, that's true, Satyam. Function same like variables, naming pointing to object, 100% Satyam. Please guys, take a point from Satyam as is 100% correct. True, Kudal, but we have to respect everyone here. Okay, maybe some problem, so we need to this. Okay, so value return from heap and prints it. Okay, so we did this before, guys. It's not something new to us. It's not news to us actually. So basically, it will not going to print the address. It's going to return a value actually. So value return from heap and print it. Yeah, that's true, Satya. So value, it will go to that heap because A containing the reference. So when I give the reference, the print function knows that it has to go to heap and return the value and gets printed. Perfectly fine. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this exercise. Okay, and let's do here. Let's go for Python. Okay, and I'll just open it. Okay, let's say we have done with functions right before. These are all functions we created. Let it be. Let it be. Now let's define a variable like a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Now when I say a is equal to 10, I will run this script now. Okay, I will run this script. Okay, it will ask me to save. Yes. Okay. Now, oh, I don't want this program to get execute. So I will remove this one. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll remove this thing. Okay. Now I'll run this code now. Okay. And you see that a when I print a now, when I print a, it gets printed me the value. It gets printed me the value. So Satyam having very good points to this. Thank you, Satyam. That value written from the heap and then gets printed. Okay, thank you for your contribution, because that is what we want, so that everybody here will understand in a better way. Okay, thank you. So everyone clear, as Satyam says, that value return from heap and it gets printed now when I say a is equal to 10. Perfect, perfect. Now what happens when I write like this? Print function, print function. What happens now? What happens now, guys? Okay, error. Okay, Kudal thinks it's an error. How it will be 10? Same, because a is referring to that 10 value 10 here, which is an integer object. Okay, it's referring to the value 10 here now, so it contains value 10 here. Okay, come on, recall what we learn in procedural oriented programming about functions. Recall about what we did about this. Is my function. I define my function here, right? And I say print a and print function. What it will print? That's our question. So here we learn that it prints 10. The question is what it gets print. Very good, Abhishek. So Abhishek is clear. It will print none. Did you remember last session? I told you if function is not returning any value, the default return value is none, and you are calling the function inside the print, so it is going to return none. Then obviously it will print hello because I am printing hello. After none, it will print hello. The output will be none followed by hello actually. Got the point? So remember, you should not call the function inside print function if the function is not returning any value. You cannot call it. This is very common mistake we'll do, that we'll try to call the function from print function if the function is not returning any value. So as the function is not returning any value, it will be none followed by the hello. Let me do that as well. Let me do that as well. Suppose we have a function here. I think we already define a function. Fine. So I will name it as something else. Okay, I'll name it as something else. Let's define one function as well. Okay, so when we return from function, then it prints of, yeah, that's true, Satyam. When we return from function some value, then print in print function in runtime. That's perfect. So I will name it as function one. We don't have any function one, and I will just say print here. Okay, print hello. Print hello. Now I'll run the code now again. I'll run the code here. Now you see, I will call this print function inside my function one, inside my print function. When I print this, it's printing hello and none. The order is not important, because first it will call the function, it gets printed hello, and then it prints none. So that can be okay. So it reverse actually. It is reverse. So first it will print hello. First it will print hello, and then it will print none. Then it will print none, because the function is getting executed. So it prints hello for the first time and does not return any value. So it will be printing none, saying that it will not return any value. It will not return any value. A small twist here. Small twist here. Now I will write something like this. What will be the output of this program? What will be the output of this program? Okay, Abhishek thinks it's an error. Okay, variable not defined. Okay, error. Okay, fine. So everybody thinks it will be giving an error. Okay, but Kudal thinks maybe an address of the function. He thinks that it may be printing the address of the function. Do you agree, guys? Yeah, Krishna also thinks it may print the address of the function. Okay, very good. Now people are getting correct, guys. So it will not be an error. It will not be an error. It will print you the address of the function at where it's pointing. Okay, so remember, always parenthesis will call the function. That's why I told you here. That's our agenda actually. I told you functions, using function as values. Functions are treated as like other objects, other values. Okay, it will also going to have an address. So when I press enter, it's printing your function one at so and so address. Addresses will be in hexadecimal. When you print ID of function one, it gets you converted into the your decimal address, but generally it's going to print you the function. So it's very interesting that function are the name of the function are the nothing but the reference, which I proved actually. So with this point I have proved our first line. With this line I have proved my first point, that functions are just like other objects. So when I print function with no parenthesis, it prints you the address, guys. It prints you the address actually, because that's the difference. When you pass the reference, he knows it has to print, but functions will be called with parentheses. You can also use without parentheses. You can also use without parentheses. You know what? I can, after this line, suppose if I write function is equal to 10 now. You know what will happen when I say function is equal to 10 now? You know what will happen if I say function is equal to 10? Can I write like this first of all? Function is equal to 10. Actually, yes, I can write it. I can write it. Now this time what happens? This will be removed and function will be pointing to the object 10 here. Yes. Now it will point to the same object called integer object. Now you see address of a and address of function will be same. Address of a and address of function will be same now. Now I will say function 1 is equal to 10. So it will be pointing to that 10 now. Now when I print id of a and id of function, okay, id of function 1, then you'll see that both will print the same address. Both will print the same address now. Now function 1 will print 10, A will also print 10. Both are pointing to it. So it's the same like the other variable. Okay, now it becomes a variable. That's true, Satyam. Now it becomes it's a reference which is pointing to integer variable. Meaning, actually, function names are variables. Actually, in short, like not like other programming language, guys. Function names are the name of the function, but in Python, function names are the references. It is very important point we discuss. Function names are references actually. Function name are references in Python. Okay, function names are the references in Python. Now you can change that reference as well, like regular references. You can say a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 10. We know that both are pointing to it. So it's very important that it's not error in Python when you just call the function without parenthesis. It simply print the address. And also you can treat them like other variables. That's what this point talking about. Like functions can be like other objects. Okay, it can be like other values in Python. It can assign. Okay, it can call the function with parenthesis. I can print the address. Okay, I can print the address. It can point to any other object also. That's what I told you. Function says that I'm an arbitrary object. This time I'm pointing to function object, but I can point to any object. I can point to integer object. I can point to float object. I can point to any object actually. Got the point, everyone? Is this clear that functions are first class objects in Python? First thing, variables contains value, functions contains this program. That is the first difference. But we are not talking about difference between variable and function. We are talking about how functions will be treated in Python. Actually, that deviates the topic because there are two different things actually. Variable holds the value, function holds the logic. That's two totally different actually. So there was a question from Satyam. Okay, code inside function stores in heap and function parenthesis only printing. Yeah. Okay, Satyam, a kind of thing. Okay, a kind of thing. Whenever you say function, the code will be stored in the heap, and when you use the reference, the function gets called, and it parenthesis will call the function. So what we learned is with two line is that parenthesis calls the function actually. Parenthesis calls a function. If you simply use that function name, it actually prints you the address of that heap. Wherever it pointing to, that address will be printed here now. That address will be printed here. Okay, I think you will get more clarity when we talk about the second point. You'll get little more clarity when we talk about the second point. Okay, the second point we will be discussing today, like function to another reference. Function to another reference. Function to another reference. Okay, let's talk about what is meant by function to another reference. I'll define the function this time as well. I'll define the function this time. I will say function, define function, and say that's why I was expecting questions, guys. Huh? So that way you will understand these topics in a little better way in detail actually. So there was a question from Nagaraja, says a10 b is equal to 20, like same two same function refers different variable. They are not functions, they are references, Nagaraja. Okay, here you see in the diagram, if I ask you what is A, what is your answer, Nagaraja? What is A here? How you will define A? Actually, you know, there is no variables concept in Python. We already talked about it in memory management. No, it will not give address then, it will give value now, Vamshi. Function is changed now. It's no more pointing to function object. It's no more pointing to function object. I hope you understood, Vamshi, that it will not print the address of the value. It will print value because for integers and all, it will print value. For your data types, it will print value. For function, actually function has to be called with parenthesis. So that's why without parenthesis, it's printing the address. But for integers and all, as you see, it is not printing the address, it's printing the value here. Okay, very good. So A is a reference to integer object, and REF is function one is also a reference to function object. So that's the basic difference. Okay, now I'll write couple of examples. Try to justify this one. Try to justify. Okay, what I will be doing is I'll say x is equal to function one. X is equal to function here. What does it mean actually? And if I print now, print x, what will be the output now? Anybody? Try to understand this. And same line, what will be the output now? Okay. Will it print hello? Will it print hello or the address? Address, very good. It will not print hello, it will print the address. It will print the address. That's called function to another reference, meaning I can assign a function to another reference as well. Because in the first line, what happened in the first line is a function got created. In the first line, a function got created now, like this. A function is pointing to the function object. It's pointing to function object at some address. Now, when I say x is equal to function without parenthesis, then x reference is also pointing to that function object. It is something same like you write the code in integer values. That's what I'm always comparing with integer. They're totally different, guys. It's not good to compare with them. Just to show you that functions are just like your other objects. That's what I'm taking this example. That's what I'm taking this example. You know that what happens when I write and say b is equal to a. This is something like this what I'm doing. You know that this it happens the same thing here. That what happens now that a object gets created and pointing to integer object which is at 3001, and b also will be pointing. It's a actually. So b also will be pointing to the same as a, same as a. So that way, as you can assign other reference to your b reference, similarly, I can assign my function reference to other variables. Now justify this line as well. X is equal to function and print x. Now tell me what will be the output in this case. So very good to see that people on track and following what I mean to say. That will help us to discuss other points as well. Okay, very good. Now it will print hello. Very good, Nitin. Now it will print hello because I'm calling the function and x will contain the return value now. X will contain the return value. So always remember there is a difference between this line and this line. Whenever you put parenthesis after the function name, it means you're invoking the function. Invoking the function. Whenever you write without parenthesis, accessing address. Accessing address. That's what you need to understand. That function can be used without parenthesis and with parenthesis. Without parenthesis, whenever you see any function name, it means you're accessing the address. And if you see function with parenthesis, you're invoking the function. Very straightforward point. Very straightforward point. You can assign to that actually. Okay. Now you see, I will just go here. Just go here. And I will do this thing. So I will remove this. Okay. And I will just change here that to return value. Return. So we have two things now, variable a or reference a pointing to integer object, function one pointing to function object. That's the thing. Now first thing I will do is I will ask him, please tell me the type of a. It tells you I belong to integer type. Now I will ask him, okay, please tell me the type of function one. It will tell you I belongs to function class. So first of all, you notice that function one is belongs to function class and a belongs to integer class. Is this point clear? How it is different from regular variable? So there is a class called function, and what you created is a function object. Okay, yeah, thank you everyone. Okay, that's perfect. Now we created a function object now when you know that when I print a, it prints 10. When I print function one, it will print address. That also we know that a prints the value, but function one will print the address because function does not contain any value, it contains code, and to execute the code you have to call the function. That is a difference between a variable and the function. So as someone has asked, I forgot a name. So like what is the difference between function and a variable? So this is the different function and a variable actually. Function actually contains code, not the value. So that's why when you say a function one, it cannot print the value, it will contain. Yeah, thank you, Nagaraja. It will actually contain the code, and that code will only get executed when you call the function. When you call the function. Now you know when I say b is equal to a, b is equal to a, then what happens? A comma b will become same, and id of a and id of b will be same. Id of a and id of b will be same. Id of a and id of b will be same. It's something like assigning a reference now. Assigning a reference to b, so both will contain 10 now, and both are pointing to the same object actually. So no other object gets created. You already know that no other object gets created. It will assign. Now what happens? Now what happens when I say x is equal to function 1? X is equal to function 1. Now what happens when I print x and function 1? Both will print the address, same address. You see, both are printing at same address. When I say id of x and id of function 1 will print same, actually. Both are pointing to same object now. So this proves our diagram actually. This proves our diagram actually. So this is the diagram. Yeah, id of function will also print the address. This is in hexadecimal actually. When you use id, it will convert it into decimal, guys. That's the difference you will find. No doubt directly is also printing the address, but in original form, that is hexadecimal, but id will convert into decimal form. As we can understand decimal form better way, so it will be good. It will be good, right? So now this proves the diagram, what happens to the variable and what happens to the function. Any question? I hope you understood the difference between x is equal to function and x is equal to function. Now if I change this thing to x is equal to, okay, if I change this, x is equal to function with parentheses now. Now if I print, oh sorry, it's not function, it's function 1, sorry. Yeah, okay, now I'll run this code now, and you can see here that if I run this function, now, okay, x is equal to function 1, x is equal to function 1 with parenthesis, you're actually calling and it stores the return value. So x will contain hello now. When I ask type of x, it will not tell me I belongs to function, I belongs to string class, because now it is storing the actual value. So try to understand the difference between these two lines. Function x is equal to function 1 and x is equal to function 1 with parenthesis. Okay, if the function is returning the value, then it will store in n, and x is equal to function 1. Generally, if we see without this knowledge, we think both are same. Both are same, but they are not same. In the first case, it is assigning the return value to the function. In second case, it is assigning the address of the function to x. In the first case, x is of type string or whatever the type you are returning, but in the second case, x is of type function actually. They belongs to class called function. So they are totally different actually. They are totally different. Yeah, in this case, we'll check the type of x. So it will say I belongs to function class. I belongs to function class. Yes, right? In this case, it will belongs to the function class. Thank you, Nagaraja, for confirming that it's clear. Okay, let me check with other people as well. Like, is both the points clear? That functions are first class objects in Python, and explain your diagram, and functions to another references. So we can assign that function to other references, same like your regular variable. Same like your regular variable. Okay, so get good. So next point, you will understand a better way now because you have this things clear. Okay, you have these things clear. Now let us discuss some more points about the function now. So print function 1 and print function 1 both are same. Yes, Santosh. Only difference is it will print you in hexadecimal and this will print you in decimal, but both are same. Okay, yeah, that's true, Satyam. Okay, so Nagaraja also confirmed. Thank you, Nagaraja. I hope there is no point, so let me go for the third point now. Okay, let me go for the third point. The third point, actually, we have started using that first 2 points now. We'll start using the first 2 points. The third point here I would like to discuss that function can be passed as a parameter to another function because it's treated as a normal variables now. What we learned from till now is function is also treated as a normal variable, like integer variable, or you call it variable means reference. There is no variable concept obviously, but we use this terminology to refer the reference as well. So Python variables and functions variables are same. Both are referring to the object. So function reference pointing to function object, integer reference pointing to integer object. That's what I can say. Both are containing addresses actually, but one if you use directly it will print value, one with use directly it will print address. With parentheses it will invoke the function. So only thing I would like to tell you the difference between without parentheses and with parentheses. The difference here, you have to find out that with parentheses and without parentheses. That's what you have to find it. Now let's say passing a function to another function. Passing a function to another function. What does it mean? Passing a function to another function. Basically, a function takes function reference as an argument. Okay, and these are generally called it as higher order function. Okay, these are generally called it as higher order function. Meaning what? A function can take function reference. Okay, another function can take parameter or argument. Function can take parameter or argument as a reference to some function. Okay, this approach is generally called it as higher order function. Higher order function. I already talked about what is higher order function. Okay, this is one of the very important concept from functional programming actually. So meaning a function can take a reference to another function. We already seen this before if you remember. We took an example of higher order function. Did you remember any function which is higher order function? Which can take function as a parameter. Okay, let me recall. You all remember the sorted function? It takes three parameter. The sequence, the key value, which is none, and that reverse is equal to false. Did you remember this function? It takes three parameters: sequence, key is equal to none, and reverse is equal to false. Very good. Okay, thank you, Vishwajit. So this is a function we used with string, with list and all, we can use them. Okay, with list, with string and everything, we can use them. Like for example, if we have a list like this, let me take an example now. Let me take an example here. Okay, example. So here, for example, we have a list of some thing, like for example, we have hello, one string and an integer. Okay, one string and integer. Second, ABC. Okay, ABC comma 30. And then we have something like for example, XYZ comma 10. List of tuples actually. This is what we have, list of tuples. Okay, now I can use sorted function for this particular thing. I can use sorted function for this. How to use sorted function for this now? Okay, the way we can use sorted function for this is I can say sorted of L. You know what will be the output of this code now? Anybody? This is a list now. I'm talking about higher order function. This is one of the higher order function, guys. Sorted is one of the higher order function because this is one, it's taking parameter, a function can take parameter or argument as a reference to some function. So it can take a reference to another function actually. We'll talk about it in a moment. First, let us cover this first part and the second part. You will understand them. Then we'll talk about what is meant by this higher order function, and we will see our own example of higher order function. So please confirm what will be the output of this code now. You can tell me in short, like what it's going to sort, based on what it's going to sort now. Based on which parameter it's going to sort. Because we know this returns a list, so I can, because of this function returns a list, so I can call directly inside my print. I can call directly inside my print. Okay, fine. Let us execute this. Okay. Any other wanted to tell the answer? Yeah, based on first parameter. Very good. Very good. So it will be sorted based on first parameter, not on second parameter. It will be sorted based on the first parameter. That is a default implementation of the sorted function. There is a default implementation of the sorted function. So I'll go here and I will take that list. I'll take that list. So I will run. I'll just remove this and run my code now. Okay, this is a fresh screen now. I'll take a list here like this. I'll take a list of tuple. The first contains hello. I'll write all in shortcuts, no problem. Small letters I mean. Okay, 20. Okay, second tuple. I will use as ABC. Okay, ABC comma 30. ABC comma 30. And then the third tuple, I will use it as, okay, XYZ comma 10. XYZ comma 10. This is my list now. I got a list. Now when I print list, it's perfectly printing me the list as it is. Okay. Okay, as it is, it will. Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. Once you log in Nagaraja, I think it will get clear. Okay. So sometimes if you get this problem, you can log out and log in quickly so that you should not miss anything. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. So let's go here and call the sorted function. I can call this sorted function like this. Sorted. Okay, sorted is a function, and I can just pass the list here now. I can pass a list. So it will return me list based on the first parameter. It gets sorted now. You see, ABC came first, hello came second, and XYZ came this thing. Yeah, based on the first occurrence and all, it will sort them and all. Can I sort them in reverse? Yes, you can sort them in reverse. If you wanted to sort them in reverse order, there is a way. What you can do is you can pass the L and you can use a keyword argument now called reverse. You can use a keyword argument called reverse and you can say true. You can say true. That's the beauty of keyword argument, guys. I can use keyword argument because it's a third argument now. I'm skipping the second argument, as you can see. I'm skipping the second argument. I'm using the third argument. So that's why I can use the keyword argument. I can say sorted L is equal to reverse. When I press enter now, it's sorted B in the reverse order. Getting the point, everyone? Did you all understood now what is sorted function is all about? I'm not explaining anything. I'm just simply explaining the sorted function. It's a revision because we already discussed about it. Reverse is an argument, guys. It's not a function. It's an argument takes inside the function. Like we took A, B, C in all these example. You see, this is same like your other arguments, like AB argument, okay, N as an argument, okay, name and message as an argument. Yes, that's true, Vishwajit. It's not a function, it's just the argument. Got the point, sorry, Satyam? Or anybody else having any doubt? L is the first argument and reverse is the third argument, but I'm using keyword argument and I'm telling that, yeah, they reverse by the list because that's what, when you make it true, there's a logic written inside that sorted, Satyam, which will, if the reverse is set, it will sort based on reverse order. If the reverse is not set, then it will sort in the ascending order. That is how it will work actually. This is how it will work now. Yes, that's what, Vamshi. That's what my question. Thank you for asking that question. Is it possible to sort the list depends on the second parameter? Is it possible to sort the list based on the second parameter? Yes, actually. it is possible to sort this based on second parameter. So let me close this screen and define the list here. Define the list here. Okay, define the list here. Let's remove this 10. Now I'm writing the function 1, and what this function 1 will return is it will take one parameter, let's take x, and it will return x of 1. It will return x of 1. It will simply return x of 1. That's what the thing. Now if I run this code now what I can do is I can call sorted function. I can call sorted function, and I'll pass the list. I'll pass the list, and I will use this key as function 1. Meaning I'm passing the reference of the function 1. Do you agree with this? Key is equal to function 1 is same like writing x is equal to function 1. Now it will contain the address of the function 1. Now sorted function will take the address of my function 1 and agree based on that second parameter it will sort it. I'm saying that you take that list, a tuple first, and x of 1 means this is x of 0, x of 1, x of 0, x of 1, x of 0, x of 1. So I'm telling that based on the second parameter you sort them. That's what I'm telling now. The key is very important thing, guys. It will tell you please sort them based on the second parameter. Now when I run this code now, it's sorting based on the second parameter. It is sorting based on the second parameter. Let it be little, I will change it so that you will get little clarity now. I'll make it 200 now. I'll run the code again, and this time you will see I will call this one again, and you will see that hello will come at the end, so that you can see that it's sorting based on the second parameter, 10, 30, and 200. Because it was looking like reverse, so that's why I changed it. So that it will be XYZ, ABC, and hello, which will be printing 10, 30, and 200. So such kind of questions will get in interview, like can you sort based on the second parameter? We thought it will be a big logic, but it's not a big logic, just writing the function. The logic is you're just passing the reference of the function Shekhawat, address of the function 1, and sorted will use your logic and try to sort based on your logic. You're trying to communicate them, you're telling them please sort based on the second parameter. That's what you're communicating. Now sorted function will take your reference, and based on your logic it will sort it. So sort can sort in ascending order, sorted can sort in descending order, and sorted can also sort based on your logic. Sorted can sort based on your logic. Understood? Sorry, you need to elaborate a little bit, and I'll be expecting questions from others as well. I'll be expecting questions from others as well. This is one logic or code inside the sorted function which will perform. Yes. Yes. This is one of the logic or code inside the sorted function. So we don't know what is a code inside the sorted function, but this is how you communicate actually. That is why it's called higher order function, because by passing the reference, you are communicating them how to sort your function. So this is one of the example of higher order function. So I hope you understood what is the logic behind it. The logic behind is the sorted function need your, if you want to sort based on your logic, then you need to pass the address of your function. How to pass the address of the function? There is a parameter called key, and you have to pass the address of the function. Key will contain the address of your function now, and that sorted function will use that key and sort based on your logic. Yes, we can. Okay, we can say x1 greater than x0. Then you can sort them based on reverse order also. Anjali, that's possible. This function need to write properly. This function, whatever you're defining now, that has to be written properly how you wanted to sort them. How you wanted to sort them. We can sort them in, yeah, that's what the thing. If you're having 3 parameters in tuple, sort them with using index as x of 2. Yes, that's what. If you wanted to sort based on third parameter, then it will be x of 2. So the logic will keep changing, guys. Function logic will keep changing. No worry about the function logic. The worry about is how can you pass the function name as a reference to another function? That was our topic. The topic is actually passing a function to another function. So I'm passing one function to another function. Best example is sorted function. So in sorted function, we will pass the address of other function. We haven't discussed print and all. They are not a higher order function, but because they do not take function reference as a parameter. But sorted is one where we take the function reference as a parameter. Got the point, everyone? Okay. Thank you, Vamshi, for confirming that you got it. Let us try that here. Can we sort based on like in, okay? Yeah, thank you everyone. Yes, this means before the sorted calling, it will take the parameter and it will use your logic to sort it. It will not use his default logic. Now it will sort based on your logic. Yeah, sort in second parameter, in the sense, now you see this is x of 0, this is x of 1. What happens now, this first tuple will be passed to the function and it will return x of 1, meaning based on second parameter we have to sort. Every tuple he will take and sort based on second parameter. If I don't provide this line, if I don't provide this line, simply I call sorted now, you know that it will be sorted in ascending order, right? It will be sorted in ascending order based on first parameter. Based on first parameter, it's getting sorted. Oh, the print p was missing. Okay, now I'll paste print and then call it. Sort based on first parameter only. If you wanted to pass based on second parameter, Shikavat, you have to tell them that how to sort. How to sort. Got the point? Anybody having any question? Okay, I'll show you one more example. Suppose it has list of strings. We did this before, if you remember. This exercise we did before. XYZ PQR. This is a string. Can I sort this string based on length? Based on length. Now we have this list now. We know that we can call this list. Okay, let me close this. We can call this list and we can sort them. I can say print sorted of L. It will sort based on alphabetical order. ABC, XYZ, XYZ, PQR. Sorry, ABC, hello, XYZ, PQR. It will sort based on alphabetical order. But now, when I call print sorted, L comma key is equal to, this time I will use predefined function called length. I hope we did this before. You know what happens now? I'm saying that based on length you sort them, not in alphabetical order. So that's why you can give any reference to any valid function. So where you can tell how you wanted to sort them. You can tell them how you wanted to sort them. So based on length, you wanted to sort them. So that way, now you see the difference. Now it will sort them based on length. That's true, because length of ABC is smaller than hello than PQR. That's why we are getting second thing. But if I say length make is different, let's make it different now. ABC PQR, I will make it. This one I will make it as XYZ. Let it be hello. Let it be hello. Now I'll run the code again, and this time I will run both the things. So I will run first part. It will sort me ABC PQR hello XYZ. But if I run the second one, then it will sort me based on the length actually. XYZ hello ABC PQR. So you see the difference now. That it's sorting based on length, it's sorting based on alphabetical order. So that way, I'm saying you can give reference to any function. You can give reference to any function. Yes, reverse is equal to true, then it's simply print in reverse. That's the only thing. Reverse is not taking as a function as an argument. Reverse is taking general value. Then it will print in order, Aditi, as it is. Like hello and XYZ, if they have same length, then hello will be printed first and followed by XYZ. The logic is written internally completely. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It is little hard to understand, guys, but it's important to understand that what is meant by higher order function. We have a separate topic called higher order function. We will discuss on Monday, hopefully, or possibly. So we will discuss that on Monday. That is what is meant by okay, this thing. So is that clear for everyone? Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone. So we'll do one thing because the next topic is something different. But these 3 points you remember, we'll continue on Monday. Okay, about these 3 topics means continuation of this topic. I think 1 or 2 session is required to deal about functional programming, and then we'll move to object-oriented programming. So next week is little crucial because you will be learning 2 different paradigms now. And we will conclude with 3 paradigms so that we can see the difference between procedural oriented programming, functional oriented programming, and object oriented programming. So by next week, you will be done with 3 paradigms of the function, Python. So first we learn the fundamentals of Python. We explore the data types completely. Now we will be talking about procedural oriented programming versus functional oriented programming versus object oriented programming. Why this knowledge is required? Because all the 3 paradigms, especially functional programming and object oriented programming, is much in demand. You know, it's a separate subject actually. It's a separate subject, guys. Okay, I'll recap, Obul. I'll recap, Obul and Roshan, that whatever we discussed today, I will recap once again because this is one of the very important topic we covered. No doubt it's quite easy to understand, but a little difficult to digest because it's something new and something different from other programming languages. It's something different from other programming languages actually. So that's why it is need to be understand. So I want you to go through because I will tell you this is subject in itself, guys. I can take a separate subject called functional programming using Python, object oriented programming using Python. So that's why in 3 days or 3 sessions, 4 sessions, we cannot justify. Your research on that is very important. Like if you wanted to become a functional programmer in Python, then you have to explore a lot. Then you can call yourself as a functional programmer. And you'll get a job separately as a functional programmer in Python. And you'll get a separate job as an object-oriented programmer in Python. Getting my point, what I mean to say? So your research is very important here now. From here, every topic is subject in itself, guys. One thing you note down on a note in your text notebook that every topic from here is subject in itself. So from here, you can decide that where you wanted to go. It's not important that you should be master in all. Having a knowledge in all is better, but getting master in one is required. Either you should be good with procedural way, functional way, or object oriented way. Having a knowledge is mandatory. My job is to give you a knowledge, but your job is to decide in which area you wanted to go for. Whichever you feel like, okay, this will be interesting for me. Like Nitin may be interested in functional programming, Narendra may be interested in object oriented programming, Ubul may be interested in procedural programming. So it's your choice where you wanted to explore more. Okay, but it will be like interesting. So I'll just give a quick review of whatever we discussed, then we will conclude for today. Okay, then next topic, as it is a like continuation but completely a different topic, required time. You Vishwajit, you decide like where you want to go. I just see 3 chats there, I told it. Yeah, so what do you think, Vishwajit? So let's decide. That's true. So Vishwajit will decide at the end of the session, like after discussing a couple of more things, like once we conclude object-oriented programming and functional-oriented programming, then we'll talk. Yes, yes. A little bit of recursive function Mahipal because it's same like other functions. Yeah, that's true, Satyam. Vishwajit will master in all. I hope you agree, Vishwajit. I'm sure after end of the session, people would like to master in all. That is true, guys. As Satyam said, after learning all the three concepts, they are so interesting that you wanted to master in all actually. But that's true. That's good. Okay. So that's looking like a weekend. It should be like this, guys. Weekend. Weekend or actually weekdays also should be like this. Okay. That's good, Vishwajit. Thank you for putting that. Okay. So having a smile in the session is always required because everybody get attention. Because morning time, as it is online, I don't know how many of you feeling sleepy. I hope Python. One thing is very happy, guys, that attendance was like awesome. I can see like I haven't have this kind of attendance mostly in even in our evening batches. Okay, but morning on time, seeing this kind of thing. Salute to this batch. Okay, only thing missing is some fun, but it's okay. We are all serious about learning, so it's okay. Okay, unless and until you are learning, that's perfectly fine. But generally, like my previous batch, like we do have a lot of fun in the batch because that comes from students generally. We have a guy called Mukesh, one of the very funny person. Like he always joke and but meantime he don't accept like you guys don't accept anything just like that. Okay, he just find the fun out of it. So that's one good thing, but generally does not expect like because every way of learning will be different. Every way of every person learning will be different. No, it's not by me. It's all about you guys. That's what I used to say. No, credit will definitely go to you because it's all you. That's what I told you from the beginning on itself. That the the team actually you're working as a team. It depends on individual person, guys. Okay, the way you're asking question, I keep telling, right? Your question will help others as well. It is totally you guys, Vamshi, Satyam. It's totally you because yeah, I can say both sides. That can be better. Okay, so I should not exclude myself. So it will be both actually. Okay, and I think as the next topics are will be interesting. So you just learn by fun. That's what I told you. You remember my first sentence about function is it's a fun language to learn. It's a fun language to learn. Okay, so now the topic is becoming critical. Now you can take it as a little fun. You can learn as a fun thing. It's not something like very serious. That's what uh, sorry, I mean to say the developer of Python, okay, is the main theme of the developer of the Python. That's why he named as Python as well, because he wanted this language to be a fun like circus. The way you enjoy circus, okay, with different tricks and all, it suits actually Python language as it named under a comedy series called Monty's Python Flying Circus. So it suits now that Python is actually fun to learn, and you can do a lot of tricks with Python. I hope you all agree. Okay, only thing is we have to make it fun. Okay, but as you are serious, I have to be serious because I cannot joke. Otherwise, you see like okay, what we are doing. Okay, anyhow, that is also one way of teaching. But until and unless you are serious, I'll be serious about this thing. So thank you, Vishwajit. Like you have added something to our session. Okay, sometimes like it's very different to joke, put joke on yourself. Okay, but you can always put joke on Python, guys. Okay, it's not like you have to joke on somebody or someone or ourselves. We can always throw a joke on Python. That will be always great. Okay, but let us see because next topic is little going to be complicated. I think that approach will help us to be relief from complexity and enjoy learning Python. Okay, and your questions obviously plays a key role because your questions will help others to understand. Like I can see today's Satyam contribution, like the very good point he had today, and it helped me actually. Okay, thank you, Satyam. It blends of students already well versed in some computer language and some clean started. Yes, that's good, guys. Narendra, really benefiting team. So its team makes sense actually. Okay, like the way Obul contribute. Everyone actually. I don't want to say some names. Kudal, Obul, Satyam. Like I'm telling regularly who chat. Okay, but others also like Vishwajit, Mahipal. Okay. Uh, these days Aditi got little silent. I hope at least now you're not feeling sleepy. Okay, thank you, Aditi. Okay, Anjali and all, they become silent, but I hope you're following. Unless and until you're following, that's no problem. But your contribution is required, guys. Each and everybody contribution is required. Sometimes I can understand like chatting from mobile is little difficult. Okay, but your contribution will help me. Like okay, everybody is following. Everybody is following. I can see some people who didn't chat at all, but I can understand maybe mobile phone and it's little difficult to chat. You may not be habituated of chat. I perfectly accept and agree with you, but your contribution plays a key role, guys. Oh, that's good then, Satyam. Okay, first language and first time you're learning, so at least you kept my word. I said you that even having no language, yeah, that's true, Kudal. So chatting with mobile is little difficult, especially when you have big chat and all. So that time I do agree that you can speak. Okay, it like multiple people speaking at some time will be, that's why I mute everyone. I can allow you to speak if you say I wanted to speak. It's always a good way of interaction. Why I'm telling all these points, guys, because we are going to start some advanced concepts, and those as advanced concepts are required to change little bit of our training kind of thing. So from your side, from my side, we have to change little bit so that this complex things become simple, because whatever we learned till now, they are very simple. We didn't discuss anything great till now. We started just functions concept, which is going to be the interesting part of your programming. Yeah, I'm trying my best to bull that to put all the points in front of you. Okay, but still I'll be expecting some questions because everybody way of thinking is different. We have 30 people here now, or 33 people. Okay, so 33 to 34 people generally. So if 34 people thinks in a different way, I know all of us will think in the same way, but if 34 people thinks in a different way, yeah, that's what, Shikawat. You can always speak, you just need to tell me. Because if I unmute everyone, you can see there will be some background sound and all may get distracted. Yeah, that's true, Satyam. Okay, so that's why if anybody want to speak, it's a good thing. There will be some person every day you can speak about it. There's not at all like problem. It's always a good thing that instead of typing a lot thing, because I can understand like for yes or no you type, guys. If you have a big question, uh, frequent question can chat, because it will be difficult to talk frequently, but it's good like one person or two-person keep talking and asking question and tell me like okay, I want to talk, because you may have a question which I may not understand, or you have a lengthy question, sometimes you avoid asking because it's quite lengthy to type, and always you can tell me to speak. I We will allow and then you can do for it. That's true, Narendra. Okay, that is missing, I can say, because we might have done at the beginning. But what I feel, Narendra, like everybody may have their personal things and all. So that way, initially they may take wrong. So that's why we haven't done. Yes, also that's true, David. I'll take your point that in chat question will be crisp and clear. That's true, but sometimes speak makes your attention. If someone is speaking now, everybody get attended. So we want your attention in online. I hope you agree with me, David. Okay, I do agree. Speaking sometimes may not give much thought, but it grabs your attention. Everybody get attended. Oh, Vishwajit is speaking, Shikawat is speaking. Okay, so you will like to understand him, what he's telling, and you will also like to understand my answering. like how I will be answering them. Okay, so it grabs your attention. So that's why this is one of the way we grab the attention. See, I believe that like about jokes, I wanted to talk about like I do initially do a lot of joke, but I stop joking because sometimes it get distracted from the class because that's some lectures follows. Even initially, I was like one of my lecturer for teaching data structures. He do a lot of fun, okay, and he cracks a lot of jokes, and I like inspired from him. I did that way, but I soon realized that it's like subject importance getting less. So I realized that I just moved to the serious way of learning. But I believe that it can happen from student point of view, okay, not from faculty point of view. Then things becomes interesting. That's what I learned, and I totally kept to student that how they wanted to take it. Okay, that's what I did. So that's why I stopped doing that. I don't do that much because it getting distracted actually. Yeah, that's what Obul. Different people have a different perspective, guys. Yeah, that's what Satyam, time to time and person to person. Different people and different student have a different perspective. Some people will take jokes, some people will take in a wrong way, and it hurts someone. So I stopped doing that actually, to be frank. Initial days of my programming career, because I started my teaching in when I was in doing my engineering second year, I started teaching actually. So that time I got inspired with my faculty. I thought of taking their way of teaching. Okay. And I tried many ways, but I finally learned that everybody have their own way of teaching. We cannot take someone's way, but we can get impressed with some of faculty, but we cannot take their way. Everybody has their own way of teaching. Yes, that's true, Shikawat. I do accept. I do tell, right? I do tell from the beginning always. Thank you, Satyam, for that. But I think I just wanted to put everything in front of you. Okay. So that everything should be clear at the end of the day. That's my intention. That's only the thing. Okay. So thank you for all your support. Okay, the way you ask your questions, the way you interacted. No, I don't think so, Aditi. I'm just doing my job. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for your participation, your attendance, especially. Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. If anybody want to leave, we're done actually. I thought it's weekend, so let's discuss about this point as well because very rare we get to discuss how we can improve ourselves because we have to improve our sessions as well. It's all because of you, Sikawat, all you guys, I mean. It's all because of all the people, Kudal, Sikawat, the general people who generally interact a lot. I'm taking their name, but all of you, I can say all of you. Attendance proves that, like, very happy to see attendance and all. Uh, actually, not like that, Aditi. Not like that. There are many. Okay, there are many, but I love teaching programming. That's fact. That my favorite subjects, like I was like very good with Java. Previous I used to get recognized with C, then I moved to Java, then Python. And other than that, actually I learned a lot of technologies. I love learning technologies. So I taught Android programming. I taught Swift, which is for your iPhone applications, making Android application. Then I switched my career. I started my career with Naresh with Naresh IT with web designing actually UI technology. So I taught their HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, Angular JS. So I believe that because I remember one word when my principal told me, if you take computer science engineering, then you have to keep growing. Otherwise, you cannot survive in this world. So I cannot depend on one language actually. So I do take different things. Okay. I'll tell Nitin about me, but I just wanted. It's not about me. It's about like uh, the thing. Okay, we should learn technologies. Then in 2016, I switched to data science actually. Okay, I switched to data science in 2016, but before that, I taught many subjects actually. That's good to hear, Shikawat, but no, I'm not taking Aditi actually right now. I'm taking Python. But right now, actually, my main job was placing the students. Now I'm working more on placements. Like, especially, I'm going with Code Vita now, Code Vita training, where every topic we will discuss and then solve the problem of last year Code Vita in different languages like C++, Java, and Python. So having a knowledge in different languages helped me. And also, one way I need to grow in technology as well. So currently working on AI and data science and machine learning, okay, which helps me to grow with Python as well. Yeah, please show Python as a script mode as well. Okay, SK, I definitely do that. Okay, so that's what we need to do, guys. Not exactly, but it helped me. Kudal, definitely. If you want me to take some, like that can be possible, right? We can do that. We can discuss some competitive level on some Sundays or some weekends. We can plan that way if everybody agree. Like there are two ways to go, guys. Python is so vast that some people wanted to grow in one way, like you wanted to face some interviews and all, and some way like growing with technology. So I'll just show you both the way. Let's try to balance both the way. From here it's very important, guys, because we're going to learn advanced concepts, and I already told you every concept in subject in itself, every concept it's subject in itself. Yes, Roshan, I do agree with backup classes, but now what we are looking forward, Roshan, is I told you now from here we're going to do some small projects as well. Okay, like we're going to develop a small website. We're going to write some small machine learning problems and AI problems. So that will decide that which area you will be, not exactly project Satyam, but small applications we can develop here. But that will definitely help you to go with that area and develop big projects out of it. That I'm guarantee about it. So actually we are going to start. Yeah, SK, I do agree. I will show you some script mode as well, how to use in scripting language. Yeah, that's what, Kudal. It will be very interesting actually. That's what this session I felt like important, because next sessions will be little. As the interest increases, the complexity also increases, guys. So that's why, as you already interactive, but I think as Shikawa says, let us introduce some voice questions as well from our next session, so that the things will get clear. Ubul, sorry, I didn't get you. Okay. Sorry. I thought it's topic you're talking about, because Python can be used as a scripting language as well. I thought that you want me to show that scripting language, so you want me to show the script. This is my script actually. Sorry, because the topic was like about concept, so I took in a wrong way. Okay, thank you, SK. Yeah. We can leave the class, guys. We'll take also leave. Okay. Yeah, of course. Like generally, uh, actually, I have classes throughout the day. My day starts at 7. I think after this month, like I'll be free because Code Vita will be completed. So a lot of my burden will get relief because completely busy with the thing. But like next class starts after this. So I think I'll get free by after 1:30 to 3:30. I'll be free. And then from 4, I have classes of other thing. So till late night, 9:30 to 10:30, I have evening batch. Okay. So, but 1:30 to 3:30 will be a good time, I think. Can talk to you. Or after 6 is also okay. Evening Indian Standard Time after 6 will be okay, because after 6 to 9:30 I'll be quite free. Yeah, definitely. I think you can get from our WhatsApp group the same number. You can contact me. Okay, but that's what, guys, be ready for that. A lot of interesting is going to come. Okay, be ready for that, so that things will become interesting. I have to Satyam because otherwise, in this world, it's very difficult to survive and all. Because one thing as a trainer I have, because we don't know what kind of opportunity we get, because I used to get like if from Naresh sir and uh, other where I worked, generally I get a lot of challenges, how they interact, they will interact like this, I'm going to give you very interesting subject. Every time I used to get shocked because that will be very new to me and I have to learn and I have to teach. So first time when they have told me, oh, you have to teach Android, I heard Android for the first time. It was in 2013 and 2014. I took my first Android batch. That time I don't know what is Android. That was mobile was also new those days, like applications to be developed using Android. So took batch. So every time it's something like that. In 2016, sir called me and said that you have to teach one very interesting topic called data science. And I heard for first time what is data science. Then I explored. Okay, then I learned Python, so it helped me. And then I learned data science concept and took first batch. Then I switched completely to, because after taking couple of sessions on data science, I realized that people are learning data science directly. Then I moved completely to Python, so it helped me and took a lot of batches in Python. But before that, I took a lot of batches in web designing and UI, where we design websites and all. Because my interest was designing websites and learning new technologies on client side as well as server side, because it's a big area and it was in demand early days. But now it took little. Yes, actually, we can build small website using Django. That's true. But this, I can give you a glance, guys, making a small website. But I believe whatever we will discuss, if you keep track of, means point of everything, you can build up your own website. You can grow in that area, actually. You can grow in that area. Okay, guys, so this is all for today. Okay, we'll take a leave. Have a nice weekend. Yeah, definitely. We will maintain the time. I'll start sharp at 7, but generally I get faced with problem with sharing the screen and all, so I will be waiting for that. Otherwise, mostly we can sharp start. Uh, no, 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 definitely, Kudal. I do agree with you. That should be the case actually, but that's fine. Okay, so thank you all. Have a nice weekend. So enjoy weekend, Sunday. Oh, that's what, guys. Only the thing I wanted to tell about something like from here, you need to